everybody. Welcome to the Hey Frase Podcast. You know I'm your host, Sarah Fraser, and I'm super excited about today's episode and review. Look, if you are watching me right now, you can also check out the podcast. Just go to iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere podcasts are distributed, and search Hey Frase Podcast if you want more of all this. And if you are listening, you can watch the video review of 365 Days movie, which I'm about to get into with you. You can go to YouTube and just search Hey Frase. Before I do that, I do want to tell you, obviously, this is not safe for work. None of my shows are, okay? I mean, I've been a long time talk show, radio host, TV personality, and today I'm reviewing 365 Days, the movie. But let me just tell you, first of all, this movie is not safe for work, and it's not safe to watch with your parents. How many of you watching or listening went to Netflix and go, oh, this looks like a cute romance novel film or whatever. You pull it up and these guys are hardcore fucking left and right. Oh, by the way, there's like a kidnapping plot. I mean, Stockholm Syndrome, this chick ends up getting it within like 24 hours. Spoiler alerts ahead, by the way. I'm going to be giving you all the details and my review of 365 Days, the new Netflix film that's been out for about a month and continues to get a bunch of buzz. But before I get into that, I need to thank two of our sponsors. The best way to support me and the Hey Frase Podcast is to frequent our sponsors. And the first one is saucy.com, SAUCEY.com. You can download their app. It's free in the App Store for your Google phone or, of course, iPhone. And guess what? They're an alcohol delivery service that drops off tons of alcohol products to your house just by ordering off their app. And if you are listening or watching right now, use promo code HeyFrase to get $10 off your first order. So you want instant gratification, you want alcohol now, especially if you're having a party. Why wait? Saucy.com. We love this app. And boom, they deliver alcohol to your home. They're in major cities all across the country, including Washington, D.C. Don't forget to use my code HeyFrase, HeyFrase for $10 off your first order. And the show is also brought to you by glowwhitesmiles.com. How about whitening your teeth in just a few days for less than $100? Hello, sign me up. Well, you can do it. That was the other one. Glowwhitesmiles.com is the website where you can follow them on Instagram. It's glowwhitesmiles. Use code Frase, just code Frase, F-R-A-S-E. Enter that code and you get 20% off your order. They also have some other amazing teeth whitening products, but you got to order now. Go to glowwhitesmiles.com. All right. 365 Days. I ended up hearing about this show on Netflix from my girl and my co-host who you know on the Hey Frase Podcast named Andrea Lopez. And she goes, have you watched this show that apparently is a movie for people who don't like porn? And I immediately perked up. I said, what? Normally, I don't watch a lot of porn. I'm going to be honest. I don't dislike it. It's just, for all of us who date a man, you've got enough dick in your life. You're getting slapped in the face all the time with a set of balls. Do I need to watch it on, porn? No, I'm watching it for the chicks. But I'm very curious when something is trending. And for the past month on Netflix, they have their top 10 ticker. 365 has been trending, and they have these two gorgeous people in the ad. And I thought, all right, I'm in. I want to watch this. So I clicked on the movie that's a little over an hour long. And it is definitely, there's going to be some hot and heavy porn scenes for you. But I will tell you, this is probably the best, worst movie of all time. I'm trying to think of another movie that could have been as bad. Maybe The Batman with George Clooney. Like, for all of y'all who are in your 30s, you remember that one. It was really terrible back in the late 90s. It's right up there with that. It has the worst plot line of all time. Think Beauty and the Beast for modern age mixed with, The Godfather, okay? So the two characters in this film are Massimo, who is an Italian, supposedly billionaire gangster. All right, here we go. And then, of course, Laura, who is played by the actress Anna Marie Sikaluka, I think is how I say it. She's Polish and she's gorgeous. And she plays Laura in the film. And of course, Massimo is played by the Italian actor who I'd never heard from, but now I'm stalking nonstop on Instagram, Michel Morone. And Michel Morone's character, Massimo, is this gangster. He ends up having a vision when his father is killed, where he believes he sees Lara, and then he hunts her down, kidnaps her, and gives her 365 days to fall in love with him. Okay, first of all, I don't know about you, but we all know from real life stories, nobody that is this fucking hot ever kidnaps you. Okay. If I were going to get kidnapped, it'd probably be like by the Pillsbury Doughboy. All right. I mean, does he even have a wiener? No. I mean, there's nothing there. He's a big doughboy. That's who I'd be kidnapped by. But, true to Hollywood film, Massimo is in the, is kidnapping Laura, and, is drugging her. Oh yeah. And then it's basically ongoing rape scene after rape scene. You guys, how is this film being celebrated? So Massimo drugs her, kidnaps her. And of course, at first she resists, but then within like 3 days, she's like, also like kind of cock teasing him and sort of into it. And you're like, what in the actual fuck? So of course, Stockholm syndrome comes into play, which is exactly what ends up happening. It's a real life Beauty and the Beast, only, there's nothing beastly about this dude. So she ends up starting to fall in love with him. She has a previous like boyfriend. Oh, and you know what? What a sweetheart. He ends up letting her call her mom so she can say, oh, I've just accepted this hotel job in Sicily. It's like, you wouldn't, he gave you the phone. You wouldn't call your mom and let her know that you've been kidnapped by this billionaire gangster. She watches him like end up killing a guy and yet still seems to want to do it. Then she goes to a nightclub where they haven't like consummated their relationship quite yet. But before that, there's a scene where he ties her up and then makes her watch him get a blowjob from another woman. I'm like, what is happening? And yet you will not be able to turn this movie off. It is supposed to be Poland's answer to 50 Shades of Grey, right? Okay, so as the film goes on, she obviously begins to fall in love with him, but he's involved in all these gangster wars. He sends her back to Poland to go and see her family, which she does. She goes out for a night with her girlfriends. Oh, but by the way, really the only thing before that, the only thing you want to see is this hot sex scene on a yacht, okay? And I'm going to be honest, was anyone else disturbed with how much like he completely like threw this chick around? I mean, so Lara is all of probably like 95 pounds in the film. And Massimo is this fucking gorgeous Italian guy. I mean, he looks like that Nacho dude who used to be like a model for Ralph Lauren that everybody was into. He's so hot. I'm all about Massimo, okay? Again, this is like too good to be true. And no wonder she got Stockholm. I would too. I mean, you woke up and you see him. Okay, hello. Anyway, the one scene that you want is this hot sex scene, which is almost like a throwback. If you were a big movie buff in the 80s, they used to show more sex scenes then. Like they'd actually show people going down on each other more, but you rarely see penis in films, right? You are going to catch a glimpse of some dick, which is, an exciting twist because you normally don't in films now. And I have to ask somebody who's more of a movie aficionado on here, how did they do these sex scenes? They're so graphic. Now, my husband tells me that they're usually wearing some sort of penis sleeve and it's like a closed set and they're still faking it. But I'm going to be honest. I think they had to have probably consummated sex and had real sex in this film. It's that hardcore. You are definitely going to feel for Laura at points of this. Like, how is this woman? She is like choked repeatedly. I mean, it is really disturbing that people are into this film because it is rape fantasy, only it's kidnapping, and none of this would ever be acceptable in real life. So I'll leave it up to you to decide if you think that's a good thing or not a good thing. And I'll also tell you about a well-known singer who has started a petition to get the film pulled. And wrote a letter to Netflix, but that's coming up. So after the hot sex scene, you're definitely going to watch that. And to be honest with you, if you fast forward just to that part to get turned on a little, you're not missing a ding-a-ling thing, okay? You're not missing a ding-dong thing. It is a complete modern day Beauty and the Beast, all right? After that, and even like before that, they go to like a nightclub. She teases him with another gangster guy that she starts dancing with. Of course, he offs that dude. It's like, oh, okay, no problem there. After that, she goes to Poland, visits a friend, sees an ex-boyfriend. And I guess interestingly enough, the ex-boyfriend doesn't know that she's been with this Italian, mobster. He shows up at her hotel room, the ex-boyfriend, and Massimo has just let himself in. He's hanging out on the sofa. It's like, oh, hey, Massimo, guess you're still here. I mean, this is crazy. Like this woman cannot get away from this nutsack, even if he is a billionaire and he's gorgeous. Then all of a sudden the boyfriend seems to get one look at him and is like, deuces, I'm out, which turns out to be a good call. They sort of make love again where he's choking her. And I think the sex scenes are a little aggressive. I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of choking of this actress, Anna Marie Luca. And I'm like, this is kind of disturbing. I digress. Anyway, they decide that they're going to get married. He slips a ring on her finger. Okay, we're all here for marrying a billionaire. But let's be serious. Billionaires look like Bill Gates, right? I mean, they're not Italian mobsters like this guy, okay? Do you want to be doing Jeff Bezos just for a ring? Not really, okay? So anyway, they decide they're going to get married. Massimo gives her a ring. They go back to Italy, and she reveals to her friend Olga, who she brings with her, that she's pregnant with Massimo's kid, but she hasn't told Massimo yet. They try on wedding dresses, and then as they're heading back to see Massimo, they go into a tunnel, and Laura disappears. And prior to that, Massimo's right-hand man gets a phone call that because of these gangster wars, they're going to off Laura. So he's trying to get a hold of her, but of course, conveniently enough, there's no reception. Turns out they had AT&T. So anyway, they can't get a hold of her, and that's how the movie ends. And Massimo's crying, he's breaking down, and I knew nothing about this series at all. So I had no idea that this was based on a book and a trilogy series. No clue. It is a book series that was written, I guess, as a romance novel, if you will. And so there's two more, books that are going to come out about it. I had no clue. 365 is like the first one. And it's Blanca Lipinska, who is the author of the book trilogy. And the book trilogy is called This Dead. So I hear, and this is major spoiler if you don't want it, but I hear that although we believe that Laura is dead in that last scene, she's not. She might be being held captive, conveniently enough. And then I've even read that there's another kidnapping in Stockholm situation. What? Okay. I mean, is this really? But you know what? I'll tell you what. In the era of COVID, people want this escapism, I think. And I think trashy romance novels are going to get even bigger. So I got down the rabbit hole of doing some research on this. Michelle Moran. So a lot of people wanted to know if Anna Marie, the actress in this film, and Michelle Moran are dating in real life. Supposedly the answer is no. Michelle Moran is 29 years old with 2 kids. A little too much baggage for me, I'm going to be honest. It's great, but I don't want to be a stepmom. You know what I'm saying? Can I even be a regular mom? Who knows? He's now reportedly single. He's not dating Anna Maria, but he says that they're very good friends. They had to become very good friends because of the intense sex scenes. I guess. And like I said, if you know about Hollywood sex scenes, please disclose, because I want to know if you think they were having real sex or not. You can leave it in the comments. Also, did you know that Michelle Moran, this hot Italian actor who's here, he actually sings some of the songs in the film. Now, I'm going to be honest, the soundtrack to me, I paid zero attention because I was really into the sex. And I really was only into the yacht sex scene because it goes on for a long time. It's very, very graphic. And again, you don't usually get to see that kind of level of sex in a film on Netflix. In real life, Michelle was a gardener. How about this, ladies? In 2018, after Michelle Moran went through a divorce, he decided to become a gardener in Italy for some family. Can you imagine your parents had that much money? They go to hire a gardener who's going to weed up a bunch of things, plant a bunch of rutabaga, and you get him? All right. Now that's the kind of movie I want for real. He was a real life gardener. How does that even happen? Here's this guy out weed whacking, trimming our bushes in real life. And in 2018, and while he's weed whacking, he gets the phone call for 365 movie. I don't know what this says about Hollywood. I mean, if this guy who's so freaking hot, his career was on the skids, what are the rest of us going to do? So anyhow, this is what was happening in real life with him. So on top of writing the music, he's a painter. Have you guys seen his stuff on his Instagram? I'm going to be honest, his Instagram's hard. I mean, it's horrid in the sense he shows off his art, and his art is the most fucked up thing ever. It's like a ghost face on a woman's naked body with her tits out. I'm like, okay, really, Michelle? We can't come up with anything else? How about you paint yourself and your beautiful abs? So he paints some weird crap. You can see that. And then also I find this hysterical. He was in another film. He was an actual merman in the Italian film Sarin. And he was a merman. All right. Doesn't he look like a merman? I could actually see that. So, but this guy is about to pop off Hollywood big. Hollywood big. Okay. Here's another scene, by the way, in the film where they're on an airplane and then he fingers her against her will. It's like, what? Okay. How's anybody watching this? And I was teasing. I told you the singer Duffy is the famous singer who wrote a personal letter to Netflix and says that this glamorizes rape and sex trafficking, this film. There's also a change.org, and I'm not sure if she started it or she's supporting it. 3,500 signatures of people that want this film off the air. Gone from Netflix. Now, it's already been renewed for season 2. They're going to do the second film. Blanca Lipinska, if you've ever read the books, I'm sure they're translated into English. Anyway, this is one of the most, it is horrible. You don't need to know any of the plot. And you will leave actually being completely turned on, completely in love with Massimo and Lara. And then you're also going to question yourself like, oh my God, why did I just watch this complete Stockholm Syndrome, like fantasy rape show? And why am I not more outraged? Like, you're going to be asking yourself that. So anyhow, if you've watched it, leave the comments here on my YouTube page, which is Hey Frase. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. Let me know what you thought of the film. Should it be taken off of Netflix, do you think? And would you watch a second one? Okay, I want to know all your thoughts. And in the meantime, let's all go throw ourselves at Michel Marone on his Instagram. Can you imagine what that DM, the DMs must be like, just women, like woman after woman in her thong, just, trying to like masturbate or something because they think that, he'd be into it. Anyhow, there's the review. 365 days. Let me know what you guys thought. Love you. Be sure to be following me on my Instagram. It's at Hey Frase, and TikTok at Hey Frase. The podcast is Hey Frase Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and everywhere podcasts are distributed.